All right, and we are live. Welcome to another episode of Foreign and Domestic. And in true fashion, before we get started with Alan, I'd like to welcome our YouTube viewer guest. Go fuck yourself. All right, Alan, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing very well. I don't really have that much in the way of energy tonight, but no, actually, I'm doing great. Had a very successful week. Had a wonderful Christmas. But before I get any further,
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
alrighty. We got Alaskan Ballistics out there. I'm kind of amazed. I would have liked to have joined him at his Gaelic or whatever he wants to call it down there. Blue Healer, Edward Petty, Floyd Hicks, Fuzz Fork 8 out there wanting to mess with Daniel before we started live, and that was a good time before Daniel showed up. Kyle Lusk here in the room, JH5 here in the room, Scotty M 1959, good to see you, sir. West Covina Dodge out there. There's people showing up into the room. Pony 487 out there. There's getting ready to have a lot of people bum rush the room. Kingpin's out there. Simpson Road Larry's out there. Milsert Mike was commenting out there. Chico Wise commenting out there. So SD Mountain Man, we've had a lot of people that are not showing up on the participants list. And, the one and only person that I would like to thank for people not showing up on their participants list is our YouTube viewer. So thank you, YouTube, for not making the participants list work properly as it should. But anyway, I digress. Thanks.
All right, we have he's working on it. We'll come back to him. We got Kyle. What's up, brother?
No. I was just saying hello to Scotty there. I was typing. I was on the other screen.
Go ahead.
No, thanks for the invite, though, Scotsman. And hello, Alan and Jamie, Kyle. Now I get to harass you in person, face to face. And Fuzzy, I am always watching.
Yeah, don't forget. Remember, he knows where you live. Go ahead, Kyle. All right. Well, while he's talking to himself,
Mr. Kyle Lusk seems to be having technical difficulties. While he gets that figured out, he is back.
Out. Yes. Oh Lord. Thanks for the invite. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's. I got you now. Yeah, got it. Thanks for the invite. Glad to be here. Can't wait for all the festivities. I will not be able to be here all night long. I actually do have some company here at the house. It was not expected, but I thought I'd hop on here and say hello and Merry Christmas to everyone. And I hope everyone has a Happy New Year. Jamie, I'm really sad that I could not be there with you today to eat the delicious barbecue ribs. Oh, man. I really felt bad about that, but I had a lot of fun last night with a good friend that I hadn't seen in a long time, and we stayed up way too late. But, hey, good to be here. Let's do it.
Cool, man. So what's this delicious barbecue you speak of. Jay, elaborate.
Just a little bit. I went up to all three of us were scheduled to go to meet Thoughts of an Old Soldier at Sticky Fingers in Chattanooga. Chico had prior engagements, and Kyle stayed up too late, and he couldn't make it. So I went up there and met him and his wife and his best friend Bobby, and they're just very gracious folks. And matter of fact, he's going to be live. He always does a Monday night live thing at 7:00. If you guys aren't busy, check him out tomorrow night on his channel. He'll host a little bit of a live stream and read some of his poems, which is always a treat for me. But cool dude. I appreciate y'all having me on. Scotsman, thanks for the link. Alan is always a pro. Daniel, man, we got to get you feeling better. I killed a good deer this year, but as usual, you one-upped me.
No,
Just by a little bit.
I don't look at it as one-upping. It turned out it was a good cull deer to take out of the herd because it only had 9 points. We like to let the 10 points and bigger grow up and make more babies. The 9 points and down, we'll tend to shoot them quick.
You hear that? He gets a bigger deer than mine and then turns around and calls it a cull deer. So, yeah.
So, what size did it end up being? What did they not measure and all that?
Oh, I haven't taken a tape to it yet. Pretty much it was just, getting the meat prepped, and I just got done doing a boil out on the skull yesterday, so now it's drying. So I would say it's probably between 120 to a 135 inch, somewhere in that range. It's just a good mature deer.
Yeah. Did you measure yours, Jamie?
Not yet.
My wife's calling.
I haven't, but I will. It's at the guy. I'm having a skull mount, European mount, like Daniel's doing to his. And when I get it back, technically you need to let them dry out for at least 6 months before you measure them, because the antlers tend to shrink as the moisture dries out. So anytime you measure one within the first 6 months of killing it, they call that a green score. For those of you who do things like that.
So is when you go to hang a rack like that on the skull, is that like the main treatment? You end up just boiling it out, letting everything dry out, and mount it that way? Because I've seen a number of guys do a couple of interesting things, even hydro dipping the skull.
Yeah, that is really cool. But hey, Thack, thanks for joining us, and thanks for saying hey. After you boil it, you got to get all the meat and stuff off of the skull. Then you boil it in peroxide to turn it back white, and then you can hydro dip it or just mount it up on a piece of barnwood, which I have my other ones done like that. But my biggest one, I had a full mount done on it, and I got pictures. But it's on one of my videos, so if y'all want to see it, it's findable. But yeah, I still got until January the 12th here in Georgia to hunt. I'm hoping to kill a couple more does for the meat. So,
Heck yeah. Got to fill that freezer.
yeah, Blue Healers, a lot of guys will just take, like Georgia Boy 44 says, he'll just take one and set it on top of an anthill, come back in 3 days, and it's done. Yeah, Thack says use a pressure washer. I've seen that done too. Yeah, Jerry, I've seen that done with camouflage colors. It's really cool. It really looks good when it's done right.
Yeah, I've seen a number of hydro dip skulls, and it was actually the first time I had seen anybody doing any kind of hydro dipping. Was people doing deer skulls, and I was like way intrigued. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here, and then fall down the rabbit hole of YouTube videos, and you start finding all kinds of stuff, and then I discovered, oh well, you can hydro dip stocks too, and so I've been looking at that. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Just all I did is boil it out yesterday, and then dump the water out, put peroxide in it, and then boiled it for another 20 minutes.
So it's done.
Yeah, it's got to dry now, and I got to brush it, get a little bit of the meat off of it.
So you got 5 on one side. You got a split brow tine on the left.
Yeah, the split one.
And then 4.
It's just a good mature one. I was happy. I would have shot it again. But this is the one I got last year. Mainframe 10. Try to get this stuff going. With just a whole bunch of junk down there on the bottom sticking out of it.
Oh man, that is cool. That is probably the peak of that deer's life right there. That next year he would have been regressing.
I would disagree. That's probably the end of that deer's life.
Yeah, that was the end of the deer's life. But if you look at those teeth there, this turns out it was a 3-year-old. That was a young one. So.
Wow.
But he's 8.
They grow them different there.
Yeah, well, it's farther north. Down the farther south you go, the deer are smaller. The farther north, their bodies and everything get bigger. So,
Daniel, do you also do bow hunting?
oh yeah, that's what I like doing the most is bow hunting because the weather is a lot nicer. And during the rut, in one day, you'll see more bucks in one day than you will see the entire gun season.
Guys, I hate to do this. I've got a couple of people that have showed up. I've got a dog that's really not comfortable being around them, and I have to go take care of visitors. But I do appreciate the invite, and I'm very proud to say hello to everybody.
All right, man. Good to see you. Have a good night.
I'm gonna bounce off. Y'all get somebody else on here that's more interesting.
We'll see you, Kyle.
Good to see you, Kyle.
I'll be watching. I'll be listening.
So it's the opposite down here, Daniel. Bow season, it's so miserable you can't go out there. I mean, it starts like the 15th of September. Scotsman will tell you, it's 90 to 100 to 105 degrees down here in September.
It's ridiculous. You do not want to go out. You do not want to be in a tree, and you definitely don't want to be in a blind.
Bugs will carry you out of the woods, man. One of the guys said the guy gets his bugs out of South Africa to eat the meat off of the skulls like that. Mm-hmm. We don't need to import no bugs down here.
And it doesn't matter if you take one of the air things with you that gets rid of all the bugs. That doesn't work. There's just so many of them. It does not work.
Yeah. I hate it when it's hot like that. Trying to be out there and relax, and you got mosquitoes just eating the crap out of you.
Yeah, it's not.
Mike's asking, what do you do when it's warm? Pack it in ice and pack it fast.
Yeah, you gut it, you skin it, You clean it up and quarter it up and get that meat off the bone and process it. So if you shoot one at last light, you might be up until 2 in the morning if you actually want to process the meat and not just cut it and throw it in a cooler.
I keep mine in the cooler at least 4 days with ice on it. I don't believe in killing one and getting it in the freezer the same day. I like to age my meat.
I just like to eat it.
Yeah, it eats better when you age it. To me.
Yeah, I keep trying to tell my girlfriend the same thing. I'm not sure if she believes me or not.
Well, these guys give me stories about, yeah, man, I killed this deer and we cooked it in the oven for 4 hours or 8 hours or put it in a crock pot and it was still so tough and gamey tasting. It wasn't worth it. I said, you put it in the freezer the same day you shot it, didn't you? Yeah. What's wrong with that? Well, you don't kill a beef cow. You don't kill, and they hang them up for 2 weeks before you start
Blake
getting
Hughes
it
out there and says he hangs his for at least 7 days.
Now I'm gonna ask a non-biased person here. Has any of the deer meat you ever eaten here, Scotsman, ever tasted gamey?
Nope.
And the key to that is just don't let the fat stay on the meat. It's the fat on the deer that gives it that nasty gamey taste.
Yeah, I have no complaints about the shaft.
And Scotsman is a good tipper. He keeps leaving his truck unlocked.
So you're able to come up with a few extra rounds here and there because he always has like 9mm and 357s and all kinds of stuff just rolling around on his floorboard.
Well, it's really nice when he's nice and leaves them in the magazines, and the magazines are still in the gun, and you end up with more rounds.
Especially when they fit the Shadow 2, right?
Yeah, that way you got twins.
It's always fun when you go back down and go, oh, there's my magazine. And he coyly tries to write his name on it like it's his. You can always tell.
I agree totally with what Daniel said about the fat, and I tend to get all the silver skin and sinew and all that stuff out of mine too. So, yeah. And then I let it age in a cooler with ice on it for 4 days, at least 4 days. Lakeview Outdoors says he ages his for 7 days at least.
Well, and Walter Davis mentioned putting the meat in a barrel of salt water if it's warm for a few days. Either you tried that before?
You know, salt is a preservative, but the only time I know one old timer that used to make a lot of deer jerky. He would literally go out and pick up roadkill and make a jerky, then sell it. So he always would put it in a thing of ice and water with a whole lot of salt. He swore by it. He made a lot of money feeding people roadkill.
Yeah, Lakeview's mentions the buttermilk trick. And I've heard of the buttermilk trick before, getting rid of some of the gamey by using buttermilk.
Yeah. We got somebody that's on a road trip talking to us now.
What's up, Chuck? I don't think he has signal.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can at the moment.
Nope,
Not anymore.
Oh, it's always something with me, isn't it?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, just a bit too much of roboting and all that.
If he can find signal somewhere. Looked like he was on the road, so.
Thoughts of an Old Soldier has joined us out there. Smile Money has joined us out there. Scott P79. I mentioned Walter Davis as well. AOK Foraging and Adventures also joined out there. There's been a few jump in the last couple of minutes.
And fed me goat meat instead of venison, which no, I could tell the difference. And I count the goats every time I go just to make sure nothing's going, I always check. You got to watch Daniel. He's very sneaky, so I always count the goats to make sure how many's there.
I just distract him while I count the goats so he's not counting his guns.
And trust me, Fuzz, if anything happened to any one of the goats, his wife would kill him.
Yeah.
Fuzz, I don't believe that. You ain't got no back straps, brother.
For 25 minutes or so, and we'll do the drawing for the Vapor. So that should be good.
Yeah, I really wish I could tell you right now to do a flyby with that Vepper.
Just go like this.
Yeah. No, it's not a Wonder Woman Vepper. It's just YouTube. Go fuck yourself on that. It's just pathetic that we can't show that thing. I'm not an AK guy, but that thing is absolutely flipping awesome looking.
It is ridiculous and brand spanking new still. So it's awesome.
It's kind of like, Vanna, what's behind door number 2? She said, well, I can't tell you.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and knowing where it came from, to me, just adds incredible amount of value to it.
That's exactly it. And I'll tell you, I'm gonna have Jamie do the draw because exactly just what Alan said. Because of where it came from, I did make a sizable donation. Because I would love to have the opportunity to keep that just because I know where it came from and who it's from. And he's a very dear friend, so it would be pretty cool. But again, I'm going to have Jamie do it just because I want it to be fair. And if you guys don't believe Jamie being fair, then you guys got problems.
Maggie, don't eat the deer head. Get back. Oh, crap. My mic's on.
Yeah, you better put that up, man. That's a beautiful rack, man.
Oh yeah, Daniel's got some nice rack right there.
Wes Covina has a good suggestion right there. He wants to see some freedom tits. I don't think they've banned those yet, so it's a possibility.
Yeah, that could possibly happen in the future. You never know.
Mike, they came out with that one about 2 weeks ago, stating that you can no longer show them on a live stream. You can still make videos on them, but you can't handle them in a live stream.
Yes, you cannot handle or show illegal parts. So if I had an automatic sear and I held it up to the camera, boom, end of story.
And they actually have people watching to make sure. So that's why you see us getting, go fuck yourself, because YouTube can eat up all the dicks.
Yeah, they physically have human beings watching live streams. And this has got to be an incredible undertaking, really, for YouTube. How many live streams are going on at any given time on any given day? It's got to be stupidly labor intensive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I honestly believe they're probably contracting it out. They have to be. With the amount of live streams that could possibly be going at one time, they'd have to be contracting that out. It's probably your gamers sitting behind their desks all night on all day, you know.
Kyle, it's okay because you're not on the panel right now, but I get what you're.
Yes, thank you, Scotsman. I was going to say that. Mad Sexy, how is it illegal if you bought that auto sear before 1980? Because it's illegal on YouTube to show it on YouTube. You're not allowed to show any parts, pieces, even if you're not showing how to install it anymore. You're not allowed to even show them on a live stream. Now, if you're in a video game, it's another story. So what if I just identified myself as a video game character? YouTube, come on. You can't just accept that I am a video game character. Yeah. You know, even if you legally own the item, and just like all our other weapons, handguns and rifles and shotguns, if you are handling them per their wording, if you're handling them on a live stream, that's grounds for shut you the hell down.
Yeah, even airsoft, anything, you can't show anything, which is dumb as hell. But that's YouTube for you. Just wait on the next thing they're going to come out with.
Sorry about that. The beagle's driving me crazy here. She's knocking over her water bowl because it's empty and stuff.
He just wants that rack, man.
She's mad at me now.
She's mad because you took her toy away.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I keep these around, so she has chew toys. And no, she wants the one with fresh meat on it.
I keep those in my backpack to rattle up. No more gun checks, Mike. And Walter Davis, they're right now they're still legal in videos.
Now, I believe that we could do gun checks, but they're going to have to be gun checks on the honor system, because we won't be able to you know, technically, according to their wording, if I don't handle it, it's okay, because their wording says that you have to be handling it. But we're just not going to deal with them. We're just not going to deal with it. Does that mean that I stand up and show you what's in my belt line? No.
Well, I can stand up and show you what's on my shirt because, you know, I bring the fun.
There you go.
That is an iconic shirt, Daniel. Iconic.
Yeah, somebody left the cabin open.
So we could do a gun check and tell everybody out there watching reaching distance of us, and you know, on the honor system.
Yep, and it's got to be on the honor system.
Yeah, nobody could do anything about that, right?
Right.
Should I go first?
Absolutely.
Okay, right there is my AR-15 with the 18-inch heavy fluted barrel, stainless steel chambered in 223 Wild. I have a brand new Rise Armament RA-140 3.5 pound trigger in it with a brand new Timber Creek ambidextrous safety selector, a MOE grip, and then right beside it is the new 358 Eagle, which is a 350 Legend modified AR-15. It's got a brand new Aero Precision lower on it that I got for Christmas. And right beside that is my CZ75 BD. Other than that, there's nothing that I can reach. Anything else I got to get up and go get.
Yeah, it would be kind of a far stretch for the crossbow, I would assume.
Not really.
Yeah. Well, as Alan would call it, I have the Wrist Breaker 3000 sitting next to me. And yes, it is loaded.
Oh, I saw something very interesting. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Or I'll get back to that. Y'all go ahead with y'all's water system gun check.
Well, I've got in the Dara holsters the P07 Urban Gray. It's sporting the Hydra shocks now for the moment, and that's pretty much all that I have within reach.
It looks like Daniel has an Assault Beagle.
I have a fully semi-auto Assault Maggie.
Hey,
here, check out these teeth. I mean, that enough to give you nightmares.
You know, them things look damn cute until they growl at you.
Oh, the beagles don't growl.
It's
the other two dogs that growl.
Just goes for your
This
ankle.
one here, she just has bad gas.
Make sure you have that muzzle pointed in the proper direction before you squeeze it.
Yeah. And that's see, the dogs, that's the only protection I have around me at this moment.
There's Tin Man. He was showing his LCR last night. Boy, heck, dang. Hey, buddy. I had a beagle, and I used to love to hear her go out, Duke. I used to love to hear him go out after rabbits out in the woods in the back. That's music, man. Swamp music.
So before we had the wonderful Beagle, Assault Beagle show up, you were going to say something else, Jamie?
Let me see if I can find it. I may have closed that, and I'm afraid I did. No, I didn't. It'll be right here. Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo. Are we allowed to talk about them?
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Something I have not seen as of yet. I got an email about it today. Colt King Cobra stainless steel 3-inch 357 Magnum, only 9 available to ship. In stock, $779.99. Very interesting to me.
So did Colt go and are they making these again?
Yes. My gun store had a set of about 5 or 6 handy rifles, H&R handy rifles, if any of y'all know what those are. and they were in various calibers. One that particularly interested me was a 223 Remington, and they had them on sale for like $199, which is a steal. The problem with the handy rifles is the extra barrels. I mean, you can put any barrel, they make barrels for almost any caliber, but they're as much as a whole gun, if not more. And I asked him, I was very interested, and I was like, hey, man, are they I was building this 358 Legend at the time, so I didn't have any spare money. And I asked him, I said, are they making those again? He said, no, that is brand new, old stock from a company that he bought out. So now they're gone, and I missed my chance. But there you go. The handy rifle and the Thompson Encore and Contenders, those are just, they're very accurate. Great for load development.
Yeah, those King Cobras, Milsert Mike's saying that he's got one, and it's the best shooting 357 he's got out there. He also mentioned that I guess there's some rumor that Colt's going to be putting out a new Python next year.
Yeah, they're basically trying to do what Smith's been doing with the classic line and re-releasing. So we'll see how they turn out.
So does it appear that Colt is getting out of the civilian AR-15 market, but yet they want to keep their civilian interest, they want to keep their civilian market, so they're pumping out these handguns now?
It's what they do, man. Play the system, play the game.
Yeah.
But again, I prefer the old ones. I'm not gonna buy a new one. That's just me. I prefer the old ones. Yeah, you're gonna spend a heck of a lot more money, but at the end of the day, you'll be a heck of a lot happier.
Well, we know you prefer the old ones. Look at who you've got in the room.
I mean, he's got Joshua and Caleb right here, and me and Daniel.
Here, I just thought you guys went to school with those guys, but hey.
Now, come on. I am not as old as Jamie. Okay.
I think you're older than me, brother.
I don't know. You were cabin boy for that Viking dude. What was Leif Erikson?
No, I wasn't. I'm not that old.
Now the Beagle wants outside again. It's just what I do all day. It's in and out.
Daniel,
She's just trying to keep you moving, man. That's all she's trying to do. Keep you moving.
I was born in 1962.
Oh, you were born in 62? You are older than me.
Oh, golly.
By 2 years.
Oh, man, nobody's as old as me on YouTube. What am I going to do?
I don't know. Maybe Tom Olofsson is.
Hey, man, you still have the most awesome beard on YouTube, though. So you have that going for you.
Well, that's your crown, man.
No, that's you, man. I'm still in the early stages. I'm getting there, but still in the early stages.
And Tom did bust me because I did swipe his shirt. Come on, dogs outside.
Dang, Tim, man. I thought you were my buddy, dude. That was a good crack you had on Buzz earlier, though. Tin Man's dad was born in 1963. So,
yeah. So I see Ruger's coming out with a new 9mm revolver, and it looks horrible. If you guys look it up, do a competition GP 100 9mm version, and it looks terrible.
A competition 9mm GP 100.
GP 100, yep. It looks terrible.
You know, I like my Rugers. I really do like my Rugers. I don't think I would be interested in that. That just doesn't really sound all that appealing to me.
Do you reload? Well, why would a revolver and 9mm not interest you when you don't have to bend down and start picking up all the brass?
Well, you have a point. You do have a point.
And no, you know, and there's plenty of good 9mm revolvers on the market, but that looks absolutely horrendous. They've changed the grips on them, like Tin Man says out there. They changed the grips. The cylinder, the way this set up is so you don't have to use cylinder all the way back, which just looks really weird. And then look at the barrel, the barrel and how they have that all set up. It's just ridiculous. And we have a new guest with us, and we appreciate him for showing up for sure. We have Christian Grass with us. How you doing, brother?
Hey, how's it going? Does my mic work all right? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Well, good to meet you, man. I've been seeing you comment on our live streams for a long time. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, great to be here. So I've been trying to get on here for a while. So I know Crazy Scotsman, he sent me some invites a few weeks in a row, but it's been pretty busy. So figured I'd hop on here for a little bit, say hi, y'all.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I understand it gets busy, man.
Yeah, especially this time of year. It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Buzz is trying to get kicked out, man. I love you, Buzz, but you speaking crazy now.
Fuzz, go take your meds, man. Go take your meds.
And Lead Bullet Junkie too. Send him to the closet or whatever. Can you blow Christian up? I want to see this hat.
Yep. Hang on.
Navy veteran. Well, thank you for your service, sir.
Yes, sir. No problem. Appreciate it.
So, what did you do in your Navy career?
I was actually a fire controlman. So I worked on the Aegis Spy 1 Alpha radar system, weapon system. So the last 3 years I was at the Aegis Training and Readiness Center in Dahlgren, Virginia. So yeah, I was a techie, but you know, on the boat, you know, we kind of did a little bit of everything. You know, I was on the firefighting team, security team, line handlers. I worked in the mess decks. I painted. I was a plumber. I mean, in the Navy, you get to do pretty much about everything. But my main job was working on a radar system and also operating it.
Now, to translate that to all you civilian types, he was a black shoe. I had brown shoes. Airedale.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
At least I didn't call you a snipe.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, the funny thing is I actually wanted to be a aviation electronics technician when I joined, but the time that I joined, the schooling wasn't available for that. So they offered me fire controlman. I was like, well, I knew I didn't want to stay in for 20 years and retire. You know, I was actually in about 9.5, so I re-upped one time. But you know, they offered me a fire controlman. I was like, well, it's electronics, it's electro-hydraulics, and, you know, moving parts and whatnot. And of course, then when I got my C school, it was for a phased array radar, which has no moving parts. So, but yeah, it was definitely a fun time. So my wife actually wished I would have stayed in and retired, but, you know, I got out at 9.5, and, you know, getting out's been pretty good for me, but it was definitely, I attribute where I am today definitely to my time in the service for sure.
Awesome. Good deal, man.
And you got a Tigger kitty cat up in the background.
Yeah. Somewhere over here.
Other shoulder.
Yeah. And my wife's sitting there, but yeah, we got 2 cats, and then I got a dog. She's around here somewhere. She's a kind of a big dog, a Great Dane, so you might see her pop in here, see what's going on. But yeah, we're surrounded by animals, so no shortage of animal hair around this house.
I know the feeling, brother. We got 2 cats and 2 dogs.
Yeah. always vacuuming, always sweeping, always
Yeah.
cleaning something. I mean, just trying to eat a meal without getting hair in your food is quite the challenge.
You need to get some goats.
Goats. Oh, don't joke about that. My wife, she'd love to have some goats.
We got like 9 or 10 of them, and
Oh,
more
wow.
babies on the way.
My relatives overseas in Switzerland, they got goats, and they're pretty funny to watch. But I don't think we could have more than 1 or 2. We got like 0.6 of an acre here, so need a little bit more room than that for too many goats. But we've talked about getting one.
Tom, I'm wanting a 357 Magnum lever gun. So congratulations on that one, brother. We got Primal Wanderer popped in.
So I shot Tom's 357 lever gun. It was actually pretty nice. I still
What kind has he got?
Dang it. I forget which one it was now. It was a Lordy. It was a 18-inch barrel, I think, on it. It was a little short one.
Says
Oh, yeah.
the Alaskan.
Chiapa. But it's pretty nice. Had a couple of
So
feeding
that's,
issues here and there, but I think that was just the ammo and sequel wasn't quite broken in yet.
Taylor and Company. So is that a 92 clone or a 73 clone? Or does it matter?
16 inch. Yeah, I believe that was a 92 clone.
So there's Idaho Rogers USMC. What's up, Dave? How you doing, brother?
Yep.
23 pounds in the
awesome.
mail.
Okay.
That's got to be one of those, if it fits, it ships boxes.
Unfortunately not. It would not fit. I could show you the receipt, but we're gonna leave that one alone. Put it this way: when I went there, and the lady was like, "Are you sure you want to ship?" Yep. She's like, "You see the price, right?" I'm like, "Yep." She's like, "I guess it's Merry Christmas for someone." I'm like, "Yep."
And I saw that receipt too. I owe you, brother.
You don't owe me anything, man. We take care of our
So
brother.
congratulations, Idaho. I'm glad you got. I was hoping to win that, but I'm glad you did because I don't have any room for it. I'd have had to build a new bench, which I'm going to do anyway. So, Idaho, you don't owe him a new rifle, but a barrel might work.
You don't owe me anything, man. You just enjoy it. But I'll tell you what you
Yeah,
owe me. You owe me some videos of you using it and making some loads and going shooting. That's what you owe me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Jamie, if I got a deal for you. Yeah, buddy.
Speaking of builds, Scotsman, I mean, you got done with the 6.5. What's the next project?
I don't know. I will tell you, I'm redoing the 6.5 Grendel. That's going to be a 224 Valkyrie. And but I'm redoing that one because I was not happy with how it went whatsoever, piece for piece, the whole 9 yards. Just wasn't happy with it. So I'm basically stripping that down and redoing that entire rifle. But then I still have another upper and lower to decide on a caliber, so I have no idea yet. But we shall see.
You just didn't like the 6.5, you said Grendel, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm switching that one out. So I do have some bits and pieces that'll be coming in that I can't use, so they'll be heading your way
awesome.
soon.
Appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely, man. As soon as I finish up stripping it, there'll be some pieces for you. So,
Yeah, that's my
parts,
first.
whatever.
Yeah, my first dive into 6.5 Grendel. So it's a whole new world for me. I mean, I've been dealing with the 6.5 Creedmoor for quite a while, which I love, but want a AR-15, sized, something bigger than 300 black, or a little bit more distance than 300 blackout, and of course more knockdown than the 5.56 for basically for deer hunting, that sort of thing. So.
Yeah. All right. So we got people out there talking about the giveaway. So I guess we will get started with that. Before we do, I want to say a huge thank you. We are up to $3,625 right now, which is absolutely phenomenal.
Say that again.
$3,625.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which is absolutely phenomenal. I will tell you, right before we started the show, I got a message from Mr. Holster, and it doesn't stop just because we were giving away a rifle. There's a lot more stuff coming up, and we still have each. So if you guys can, and I know you guys have been stepping up to the plate already, but if and when you can, please help donate. I'm going to try and give him a call on the way to work, but yeah, it's not looking too good at the moment. So prayers, thoughts, all of that good stuff for him as well, for sure. Tom, you're more than welcome to donate anytime you want, brother, but this drawing closed. And our brother Jamie is going to do for us because, again, I thought this was such an awesome thing, and knowing where it came from, I had to get in on it. So I threw in a little chunk of change to do. So, Jamie, with all that being said, go ahead, brother. It's all you.
Okay. The bag here is full of numbered 9mm cases. I have them numbered in green Sharpie in honor of Christmas time. So how many you want me to draw, Mr. Scotsman?
Just drawing one.
Just the one. All right, here we go. We're shaking them up real good. I'm going to open the bag. I'm going to turn my head and stick in my hand, my formerly nicotine-stained hand. Can y'all see that?
Looks
I
like
believe that is 87.
All right, 87 is Johnny from 102nd 80 Ideas.
Awesome.
So I'll get a hold of Johnny. I don't think he's out there. I didn't see him jump in, but I'll get a hold of Johnny and let him know.
Yeah, I haven't seen Johnny out there yet this evening, but 182nd Idea, Johnny. Very, very good. Very good.
Absolutely awesome. So I'll get with Mike, and I'll get you his info as well, because I know you got some magazines, and we'll get that going.
Yeah, Millsart Mike said he needs that.
Yep. As soon as I get the information, I'll let him know.
Yeah, Millsart Mike's good brother, man. He always throws in on these. He like almost every single one he's thrown in on.
Yep. Yeah, always steps up to the plate and helps out. So it's absolutely awesome. I forget how many mags I think it was. Was it 6, 5 or 6, something like that? So
Well,
That is phenomenal. I mean, knowing where that Vepr came from, to me would just make it worth so much more. Brand new, the thing's absolutely gorgeous. It's a ridiculous thing that we can't show it. Thank you, YouTube. But I mean, the thing is absolutely flipping beautiful, man. And Johnny over at 180-second ideas. Yeah, that's the main drama llama himself.
Yep. It's very cool. So
and I want to say thanks to everybody that donated. I want to say thanks to Scotsman for giving me the honor of drawing the number. And I want to apologize for not drawing your number, brother. But hey, I tried.
hey, that's it. It is what it is, man. That's why I had you do it, so it was all fair.
Cool, man.
I could have a number, but you know, I didn't want to do that. So
We're sorry, Mike. I apologize.
It doesn't matter anyway, Mike. That gun is entirely too new for you.
Not just that, my new name is Damn It. Which, honestly, until I got my driver's license when I was growing up, I thought my name was Damn It. So very cool, guys. Very cool.
yep, and we'll get a video out later this week with what's up next, which Johnny's throwing in on that one. So I'll let you guys know what's coming from him on when that video comes up.
Gonna keep rolling with the same GoFundMe on that one, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
So as everybody can see, Scotsman's got the GoFundMe link in the banner down below, and everything that goes into it still gets you into something, and definitely is helping out Holster and family.
Yeah, they appreciate it very much. Trust me. There's a lot going on there, so he definitely appreciate. But you guys can start donating anytime you want for the next drawing, and I'll get those put in. And once you guys email me and let me know. And I will say that for one of the first things going in that is the Dylan Square DLB and 357 Magnum, because Mike Treen threw that back in to help. So.
Ain't that how this community works?
Yeah.
Y'all are awesome.
Yep.
And
Crank.
thank y'all.
Or to Mike Treen, and Mike Treen paid it back in to help Mr. Holster. So pretty cool.
Yeah, all of y'all are just a credit to your mama and daddy. I just tell you what.
So on a completely different note, does anybody have any information about the shooting that happened out in Texas? I haven't been able to catch anything on it yet. Other than it, I believe that it was a school shooting.
It was
a church shooting. Excuse me.
Church shooting.
Yeah, a church shooting.
I only saw Instagram. And imagine that a good guy with a gun stopped a bad guy with a gun. And imagine that it's not in the news.
Unless
Even here on Foreign to Domestic, I've seen people like go, oh, well, not you carry a gun to church. Well, not only do some of the members, even on the current panel, carry a firearm to church, but they've collaborated with the other people in their church so that there's some type of itinerary, some type of plan in a worst case scenario. You know, real bad guys are out there and going to take advantage of any possibility that people just aren't carrying that day. Wow.
Yep. Crazy stuff.
So it was a short, very short exchange, and the assailant was taken down in short manner. And I mean, the fact that he was able to get a round off, that's terrible. The fact that that they were out there doing it, even worse. But that the patrons of the church were able to stop that action before it continued to get worse is phenomenal.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I saw the video on that, and if you watch it, you see, after the intruder was shot, you see quite a number of other, people in the church drawing their firearms to go over to where, the shooting took place. So, that church definitely, it sucks that it happened, but they seem to be well prepared for something like this to have happened.
at my church, we have 2 uniformed officers there, and they are church members. So they
And where did this go down at? What state?
It was in Texas.
What happened? Well, the church.
Yeah, and we're starting to see a lot of this stuff come out of what was considered to be 2A strong states. I can put on my tinfoil hat for the next couple of paragraphs here, but it just seems uncanny to me.
Yeah, my wife heard this here and she wanted to hear about it because we're both on our church security team. So it's like we train every month, whether it's clearing the church or actually shooting the firearms or doing first aid training.
So the assailant had a shotgun. Is that what I'm reading, Tom?
Yeah, looks like it said 7 armed guys and looks like shotgun. Yeah, guy with the shotgun.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, just a testament to people training and practicing and making sure they're ready. And Daniel, because Daniel, he's at his church, they do the same type of thing. They got a team and they train regularly. So.
Yeah, and I would definitely encourage it. You go to a church on a regular basis. Talk with your other parishioners, talk with the other people, and get it set up, because situations like that, they're going to be a mass amount of craziness, and if you don't have a plan, things may not go even as good as they can go. It seems like to me that in this particular case, it was tragic that it even started. It was bad that he was able to get a shot off, because there was two people that were hit, apparently. One of them being a security guard, according to Walter Davis. So yeah, that's pretty wise. It's situational awareness. That's kind of putting yourself in probably the best vantage point. You're looking at the main entrance and everybody that's in there. That's putting yourself in probably the best place for visual advantage.
So our pastor says if anybody comes in here and starts shooting up the church, they're probably going to be shooting at me first. So I'm expecting any day for the pulpit to be lined with AR-500 steel on the inside.
That would be pretty badass right there.
It'd be even cooler if he had an escape hatch. So
you could always just mount two AR-15s right on the side of either side of the pulpit. And that way you just reach around and pull the triggers.
And those are kept in the sound room. Yeah, the AR-15 with the red dots. Those are kept in the sound room.
no, I want Tom to have that 357 lever gun up in the choir loft with him. So I mean, he's got the crow's nest up there, the sniper's perch.
Yep.
You see Tom there with two Uzis. Say hello to my little friends.
There was Chico, and that was mentioned earlier up in the side chat a little ways further. Seems like I think it was two people went into a Jewish delicatessen and shot the place up, and one guy escaped, and both or all three of them. I can't remember if it was two or three that went in and started shooting, but all of them were killed.
Where there was also that stabbing up in New York. Guy went in with a knife and started slashing at some Jewish folks that were gathered together. I don't know all the details on it, but it sucks nobody had a firearm there. I guess I don't think anybody was killed, but they were all injured pretty badly.
Melser Mice says there have been several incidents in New York. What a surprise.
Yeah.
And they keep blaming the gun when it's a people problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I told the wife earlier. I'm like, well, I guess I'll be banning knives and swords and stuff up there. Heck, they might already be banned in New York for all I know. It seems like you can't even have anything up there.
All right, I got two things. Number one, I want to be paying attention to the national news and see how much of this about this church shooting, about the guy stopping the bad guy, I want to see how much news coverage that gets. And another thing about the whole gun control thing is, why are they picking on guns? I mean, this 5 people stabbed, hit with a machete in New York. That's not a gun. And the guy that had the gun in Texas, he only hurt 2 people and he was shot down. A guy with a knife gets 5 people. It wasn't too long ago in France or somewhere in Europe, a guy drove a van into a crowded street and killed 80-something people. Not to mention 9/11 when they flew a airliner into the World Trade Centers. How many people did that kill? Wasn't that about 3,000?
It was up there.
The Oklahoma,
Well, and they, this stabbings with a machete. I mean, a machete for God's sake. But stabbings in New York, they've got massive knife control laws too. They're probably the closest to British knife control laws anywhere in our country. So it just proves that these laws don't work. They're not going to stop any madman that's planning on doing it. It's not going to even slow them down. They're going to do it. Yeah, I don't really know, but I'm not sure if it's even legal to own a machete anywhere near that area of the country.
yeah, Walter Davis is right. I don't even think you can have a 20-ounce Coke in New York. In California, you can't have a plastic straw, but it's obvious to me, and I believe it's obvious to everybody on the panel and everybody watching. If you want to kill the most people possible, you don't use a gun. You get a U-Haul truck, fill it up with fertilizer and diesel fuel. Like they did in Oklahoma City. Hey, man, that killed 280-something people, I think. But they're picking on us guys because we have guns.
Well, how about that Boston Marathon when the guy took the pressure canner? It killed, maimed all those people.
Yeah, there's some things worse than dying, Daniel, and being maimed like that and the horror of surviving it. What it boils down to, I think, is you got a bunch of liberals that hate guns because they intimidate them. People that carry guns intimidate them. So they want to feel good about themselves. So they're all like, well, you can't do that. I'm like, hide and watch.
Well, they hate the gun because the gun is an equalizer. And because, Samuel Colt made all people equal. If you can weigh 100 pounds and take it out a 300-pound monster, but it's just insanity. What they want is to make all men no longer men, make them betas, and just control everybody without where they can't fight back with anything.
The trick is, there's Josh Benmore. I ain't seen him in forever. And there's Jesse B. I think you got to be aware and be watching your surroundings. There's no way you're ever going to know it's going to happen until it happens.
Yep.
And you got to be able to.
And we talked about this before, but like anytime I go out, anywhere I go, I always sit somewhere where I can see everywhere around me, every entrance, every exit, the whole 9 yards. And, if I can't get a seat where I can see that, I won't sit there. I won't walk out. I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, the wife always knows anytime we go into a restaurant or something, she always asks me what seat I want because, I'm always carrying and she doesn't always carry. And, just want to be able to see what's going on. Don't want to be blindsided. Try to. Best thing to do is, if you can catch a shady situation before it happens, you're going to be better off for sure.
Yep. And there's the man himself, the winner of the Vepr. Good old Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, if you don't know, you won the Vepr. Not sure if you're just now joining us or not, but you won the Mr. Holster Vepr. Chico Wise is asking if you've got some more ink there, Scotsman.
Yeah, I was just replying that I do. So I don't know if you guys can. I'll try and do this the best way I can, but I got this right there. What that means? It means if you want peace, be prepared for war. I got that a while ago, 4 or 5 months, but it's been cold, so I've been having them wear, hoodies and stuff, so you haven't really seen it that much. Good old Ohio weather.
Yeah, I don't miss Ohio weather. I lived up there for 11 years. I was so happy to get back down south.
So where you live now, man?
North Carolina. So I grew up in northern Florida, though, panhandle in between Tallahassee and Jacksonville. But I was in the military and moved around a bunch. Lived in Virginia for about 8 years, and lived in the Illinois area for a year. But when I got out, the job I took happened to be outside of Cleveland, Ohio, or in that area. So I lived somewhere between Akron and Cleveland for about 11 years, and then my company, they had an opening down here in North Carolina, and I took it just to be closer to family. Like I said, my folks all live down in Florida, and then my wife's from Virginia, so North Carolina seemed like a good, happy medium, for both sides of the family. But I will say though, I miss the folks up in Ohio. Some of the nicest bunch of people you ever meet. The winters really suck though. 5-6 months of snow and cold and all that garbage. I don't miss that at all. But I really had a good time up there. I met a lot of great people, folks I worked with, good friends and stuff. I still keep in touch with. Actually, my oldest daughter still lives up there outside of Canton. So I don't see her too often, but yeah, so I still got some ties to Ohio, but I'm down south where it's a little warmer.
I understand that. I live in Northwest Georgia.
Yep.
I live, if you drew a straight line between Atlanta and Chattanooga, I'm about dead in the middle between them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm right up by the
so
lake. I get the lake effects now.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I did field service in northern Ohio. So I traveled around between anywhere between Toledo and Erie, Pennsylvania. So, the lake effect snow, and I work on medical equipment. So, hospitals are 24/7. So, it would be, 10 below with freaking stupid snowstorm, and I'd have to drive my stupid minivan, all the way up the lake or whatever. So, the winters, but the summers were gorgeous. I mean, I love the summers there. But yeah, the winters, if you're up by the lake, I feel your pain.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not that bad down here where I'm at. I don't get the lake effect.
Good night, Tom.
Oh man, Tom. Okay, good night. Yeah, I'm down here by Mohican State Park.
Is that Columbus area?
North of Columbus, right between Columbus and Cleveland.
Okay. Yeah, I remember I'd never been to that park, but I remember seeing the signs for it. So I used to go over. Is it south of Medina?
Yeah, Medina's up the
Mansfield.
road, just up. Yeah, right. It's just south, just barely south of Mansfield.
Okay. Yep. So you
Yeah,
probably
I
go
would
to
dare
10
step
feather and
foot
fur.
in Ohio during winter, especially because there's these two guys in Ohio that just they're real assholes. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
The
pretty much.
quintessential.
Pretty much. But I tell you what, one of them's a really good chef, especially if you like deer meat.
My kids actually think beef tastes weird.
Huh.
And another dog wants back in the house.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That's one thing I miss up in Ohio is deer hunting. The deer hunting up there was freaking awesome. North Carolina deer hunting sucks. I'd much rather go back to Ohio and deer hunt than down here. Even where I grew up in Florida, it kind of sucks. But the deer up there in Ohio, man, they're so big and just pretty plentiful. I had a buddy of mine in Guernsey County. He had 50-something acres, and I was hunted there during bow and gun season, and always saw a lot of deer, and just had a great old time. And where I grew up in northern Florida, I could hunt 7 days and not see the first deer, so it was pretty damn depressing. Going and moving back south and having to deal with hunting days on end without seeing much. But yeah.
How do we get back on deer hunting again? Alan?
I love deer hunting. I could talk deer hunting all night. So
We done beat that horse.
yeah.
I will say this: if I can get another doe or two in the next few days, I hope to smoke a hindquarter and bring it to our meetup in April for the Georgia Shooting Connection meetup at Dead Zero Shooting Park in Spencer, Tennessee.
Oh, cool.
Christian, maybe you can join us.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dang awesome. I got a pretty busy schedule. You said April, right? What's the weekend?
It'll be after Easter.
Okay, because I know I got to go to Utah the weekend of the 18th. I got a driving school actually. I'm going out there for, but yeah, I teach now, so my schedule's set out 10 months. So for me to get time off for anything is really hard. Unless I know 10 months ahead of time, then I can maybe get time off. But if I can get there, I definitely will. I mean, that's probably not too far from me because I'm between Raleigh and Fayetteville, and I know Atlanta is probably about 5.5 hours from here. So, it's probably another.
Spencer's about 45 minutes northwest of Chattanooga.
Okay, that's probably closer to 8 hours, I think. Then.
Is that about right, Scott?
Yeah, right in that area. Yeah. We'll have dates here pretty soon, so as soon as we have dates for the shoot, we'll let everyone know.
Yeah, then we got to decide if we want to try to get a cabin or if we want to invade that motel again. I think we can get that entire motel if we have enough folks.
Oh yeah, I think so. I wouldn't mind invading the motel again. However, anytime I need something from the store, I'm gonna send someone else in, so I don't have to deal with the owner.
Oh man, he loves you, Scotsman.
He's a nice guy. He just doesn't know when to stop talking.
We don't know anybody like that.
Right?
Boy, Christian, you're a fast typer.
No, I'm not. See these little fingers?
Oh, you use 2 fingers?
Well, I use my hands, but
I just use 1 finger.
So I'm twice as fast then.
Yeah, he's making Sharenda sound slow.
I normally use a majority of my fingers when I type, except when I'm typing the YouTube auditors a message, then I only use one.
Oh, my battery's running low. I have to go hook up some electric.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Scott again. I kind of miss him. It seems like I hadn't seen him in forever. I bet he's busy.
Are you talking about Insight Freedom?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been kind of MIA a little bit. I chatted with him here just a week ago. I wished him Merry Christmas stuff. He just taking a break, I think. You know, he's doing family stuff, and I know he's working a lot. But he's definitely a great guy. You know, hope to run into him someday. Actually, when I first started doing the YouTube thing, he's somebody that reached out to me, and really a good guy. So
He is, and he's our contact with Dead Zero Shooting Park.
okay, yeah, I saw some of his videos on that.
And that's where we go. That 1,000-yard range is top shelf, man.
Yeah, I got a couple rifles. I would love to take to 1,000 yards.
I'm trying to come up with something I can shoot that far. I think I got the rifle. I just need a little more scope.
Yeah, we need to get you a nice scope on there. I don't know if you want to go Night Force nice, but we'll get you something nice on there.
Yeah, I can't do that. I was thinking maybe a Primary Arms or one of those Arkans that Kenny's selling. I can save up and do a couple of sideline jobs and maybe come up with that much.
Yeah.
Vortex has some pretty nice scopes in quite a number of price ranges. I mean, I've been running a few of them, and no complaints here. I mean, I got a Viper PST that's pretty pricey, but even some of their more budget lines will get you where you need to be. I've been real impressed with the Vortex Diamondback Tactical. They got a first focal plane. What is it? 4 to 14 by 44. I got a couple of those, and they got I think it's a 6 to 24 by 50 as well. And those are they're pretty dang reasonable. The Primary Arms scopes, I've looked through those, and those are supposed to be, I mean, they seem to be pretty decent for the money too. So there's I would say compared to 10, 15 years ago, we live in a pretty golden age of optics quality for the money, because, 10, 15, 20 years ago, I mean, you had to go to Loophole or Night Force or, one of the really top end. I mean, now there's a lot of stuff down in the sub $500 range that is pretty nice for the money, I'd say. I'll never own a Night Force either. That's too rich for my blood.
Lead Bullet Junkie's got what's he saying, a Diamondback.
Yeah.
But what?
But he just says, but left us hanging.
Daniel's laptop died, so he had to bail out. He just texted me a minute ago and let me know he died on him. But the Vortex Diamondback line is a good line. The Crossfire, I'm not so much impressed with. Crossfire lines that are the real basic entry level stuff, but the Diamondback line for the extra $50, $60, $100 or so, depending on what scope you're looking at, is well worth the money.
Yeah, I see Ghost Rider's talking about the SWFA 20X. Yeah, I mean, I guess if all you're ever going to do is shoot out at 1,000 yards, the higher power fixed scopes are great. But man, I like having that adjustability. You know, I don't like one trick ponies when it comes to optics. You spend all that money on optics, and if you can only do one thing with it, for me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Unless it's a red dot. I mean, red dot, that's a no-brainer. But for regular, you know, rifle scopes, you know, I like to be able to hunt, you know, and do different things with them. And yeah, for me, I can't have a really high powered fixed scope. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, you got to have that adjustability for sure.
Unless it's like a 4X ACOG. I got to make the exception there. I mean, ACOG, that's, you know, but still, I mean, I'm not trying to shoot super long range with an ACOG either.
Yeah. So what is the longest you've shot so far?
Me?
Yeah.
With optics or iron sights? Iron sights, 600 yards.
There you go.
I used to do service rifle matches. With optics, 200-300 yards max. I mean, there's just not really a lot of places here. You know, where I grew up, I mean, you could get out a few hundred yards. Here in North Carolina, there's just my range I'm a member of only has a 100-yard range, so it's kind of, you know, I mean, I don't want to say it's a waste, but you know, I'd love to, like I said, I'd love to shoot out to 1,000 yards. When I did service rifle matches, we did across the course, so we do 200, 300, 600 yards. You know, up in back when I lived in Ohio, I did one here, a grand match, but it was a reduced course, so it was only to 200 yards. But yeah, with optics, no, I've not went that far with optics, unfortunately.
Yeah. Milsark Mike says he's got his Zeiss that he's got to put on there. Excellent. You'll love it. I love my Zeiss scopes.
Yeah, it's hard to beat Zeiss.
Down the road. Yeah.
The red dots might leave something to be desired, but the scopes are a different story.
Yeah, they're
So
red
here's
dots.
another thing. You know, if anybody's looking for scopes, you know, Nikon's getting out of the rifle scope business, and they have some really nice scopes. Their FX line, their FX 1000 line, that they have them for like half off most places that have them in stock. So, and then they have some lower lines that are pretty decent as well. So, if somebody's looking for an optic, I mean, and Nikon's not going anywhere. It's just they're not going to manufacture the rifle scopes anymore. So, but I think they still have lifetime warranty. So if you have any problems with them, you know, Nikon will repair it or whatever. But you know, it might be an option for folks looking for decent optics and not wanting to spend a crap ton of money. Like I said, their FX 1000s. I looked through a couple of those at the range with other guys that had them. And man, those things were nice. And those optics were like $800-900, and I saw some for sale for sub $400.
One of the things I have a Buckmasters 2 Nikon on my 270. It's a Seiko AV.
Yep.
And 270 Winchester. And I agree with what Milsark Mike said. That thing just works.
Yeah.
I mean, what I like about it is the app that Nikon has where you can go in there and punch in your ammo and your velocity and all of the conditions, and it'll print you out a dope chart. And if I could show you my deer rifle, I have it printed out and taped to the stock of my rifle, and it's even got some blood on it now. Yeah, Kenny, I'm really interested in one of them Arkin scopes. I'm going to save up some money and see if I can get one of them off of you.
Yeah, I'll need to take a look and see what he's got over there. I haven't been over there to look yet, but I'll take a look and see what he's got.
Yeah, I would really.
I got at least two I need the scopes for, and one unknown.
And then you got those Z scopes at Classic Firearms now. They're running less than $500.
Yeah, they got some versions of them for under $5, which anytime you can get Zeiss for under $5, it's a hell of a deal right there.
Yeah.
That is some of the best glass you'll ever look through.
Kenny's talking about the Arkin sub $300 scope, first focal plane, 0 stop, 4x12.
Yeah. See, I gotta have second focal plane. I don't like first focal plane.
Yeah, it takes a little bit getting used to the first focal plane for sure.
That's always my gripe when I'm trying to find scopes. Is there's some really nice scopes out there, but half of them are all first focal plane. I don't do first focal plane.
Well, you can save some money if you don't want the first focal plane. That's for sure. I know with the Vortex line, you pay a premium for the first focal plane. If you want second focal plane, they're normally quite a bit cheaper. And I don't know who all here is a veterans, but Vortex, and I'm not trying to peddle Vortex stuff. I mean, I got some Vortex, but I got a lot of other scopes too. But if you're a veteran or a military first responder, law enforcement, they actually offer 40% off. I mean, the Vortex deal for military and whatnot is pretty damn awesome. So that keeps bringing me back to them, you know. And then of course their warranty and stuff like that. The one time I had a problem with something, they were Johnny on the spot, had me taken care of really quick. So no complaints there.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, I've talked about their customer service before, but the rep I used to have, heck, it's been 7 years now or so ago. When I first met him and talked to him about all this, he's like, you know, the only thing we ask people to do is just be honest with us. If you ran over it, let us know you ran over it. You shot it, let us know you shot it. But whatever you do, don't try and bullshit us. That was the only thing he said. Just don't try and bullshit us because we can tell. Yeah, Benelli R1 is a very nice firearm indeed. Definitely up there like any Benelli, but the R1 is very nice.
So gorillas and guns, go feel better, buddy. Sorry you're not feeling well.
Yeah, that's what I was telling them. We've been sick here in my house off and on. I mean, I got back from Colorado, my elk hunting trip, and I've been sick off and on ever since I got back from that crap. My wife's been sick, and we've just been sick, and then she'll get sick, and then I'll get what she has, and then I'll get something else. She gets it. I mean, this has been a crazy year for that mess. I mean, I'm just getting over the last thing I had. I'm waiting for the next thing to come down. So I definitely feel his pain. I hope he gets it feeling better.
So, man, me and my wife both work for school systems.
Oh, man. So you're I mean, I work in a training center, so we got people coming from all over the country. So that's probably part of my problem as well. But yeah, if you're working in a school, what age? I assume children. What ages?
Well, I work on Chromebooks. I'm in a shop, and I get all the age groups.
Okay.
Chromebooks in my shop, and they're first thing I do when they come in,
Wipe them down.
I'm a Windex.
Yeah.
Let that ammonia in that Windex kill all those germs. Yeah, just give them a call, Idaho. That's a good deal. Yeah, that phone number ought to be easy to find, too.
Yeah, or the other thing is that if you go to their website, they have a military veteran link that you can email them. They're going to want like your DD-214 and some credentials, and they'll give you the discount. So don't tell them it's a 40% discount. You're actually not supposed to say nothing about how much discount you get. But it's, I mean, if you search online, you can figure it out, but they don't like to advertise that. But yeah, email them and they'll set you up with a guy, and that guy will send you an order sheet. And I think you can order like 2 optics a year, I think it is, to get that price. And you just order directly through him with your payment info and all that stuff and what you want, model number, and then they send it to you. It's a pretty cool deal.
Yep. Yeah,
and Loophole actually has something like that as well.
Yeah, I think you're right though. I think it's 2 a year.
Yeah, and Loophole has that sort of deal as well, but I've never tried to use it. I got a little bit kind of ticked off at Loophole. Their prices never come down, and they keep producing the same stuff, but you can get better stuff or similar stuff for cheaper cost, from Vortex. So I kind of stopped buying Loophole stuff. And then the other thing about Loophole is they stopped. It used to be all the stuff was made here in the U.S., and now it's all made all over the place. So that was my other thing. I mean, I got a lot of Loophole stuff.
Loophole, you never know where it's coming from because it's all parts and pieces all just slapped together pretty much.
I mean, I've had good luck with my Loophole stuff. I like it, Matter of fact, my deer hunt this year, I mean, that's where I was running.
Yeah.
But
And they changed their warranty too, and only the gold ring stuff is. Everything else, it's 1 year or 2 years. And they don't cover the Redfield anymore. They used to cover Redfield because they own them too, but they don't cover that anymore.
Yeah, and I have a crap ton of Redfield stuff too.
Yeah, they changed a whole lot of stuff.
Like, I hope
when they came out with that announcement, I was just like, wow. All right, you guys are gonna lose some business, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I haven't bought anything Loophole in quite a while for a lot
now,
of reasons.
Daniel, Vortex is made in the Philippines.
Yeah, actually Vortex, it depends on which line. So if you buy a Viper, it's made in the Philippines. If you buy the Diamondback, it's actually made in China. They have a factory there. And then if you buy the Razor line, I think the Razor line is made in either Japan or the U.S. I think that's the only line that's made in the U.S. Their Razor line.
Yeah,
they're made all.
The glass is Japanese glass, but then the rest of it's made here in the U.S. on the Razor line.
But like I said, I got a couple of Diamondback tactical scopes, and they've been no complaints. I mean, they're nice and clear, no quality issues, and they're made in China. I mean, my Viper is made in the Philippines, and the Viper is the only one I've had any issues with. I had a speck of anodizing inside the tube that came off, and it slung up on the glass. So if I was at minimum power, I'd see just this little tiny speck off on the side. As soon as I magged up, I wouldn't see it. And I called Vortex, and they were like, we know exactly what it is and all this stuff. And they said, it sounds really weird. It sounded weird to me too, but it's like, if you whack that thing really hard, on something, I can't remember, whatever, the floor or carpet or whatever, it'll actually shake that piece of that speck out of the way. And they said if it comes back, just send it to them and they'll replace it. But I did what they said and haven't had any more. It's went away like they said. So, I was a little shocked though with the Viper having that type of problem. But like I said, when I called them, they knew exactly what it was and told me how to fix it. It was pretty impressive. So
yeah. So Amanda wants to know how Swarovski is. Swarovski is as it always is, super expensive and well overpriced.
Yeah, that's another one I'll never own. It's way out of my budget.
Here's one of the things with Swarovski too that always ticked me off is no matter what rep showed up, they always wanted their stuff top. They always thought their stuff was the shit. Everything else was crap, and they wouldn't help anyone with anything else. They wanted to see it. They always was try to push just their line. Any other rep I had in the store would help sell anything else. So if someone wanted to look at a Nikon and they're a Vortex rep, hey, they'll sell them a Nikon all day. They wouldn't push just their product, but all they did. They would not help in any other way whatsoever. And they're always assholes when they came in too. I pissed them off many, many times because they come up here. Well, your stuff's not up there because I got 5 of your scopes and I got 20 of Vortex, and Vortex is better than your shit anyway.
Yeah, so I see Eagle Eye Shooting was saying that Diamondback's made here in the U.S., but that's not the case. So here's a Diamondback Tactical. that I have. And if you look down in the bottom here, let's see if I can get this thing freaking lined up. Made in China. So, and like I said, it's a nice scope. This is the second one I've gotten. This one's going on the 6.5 Grendel build, but yeah, they're made in China. I mean, unfortunately, it is what it is.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff's made in China. It doesn't mean it's bad. It all comes down to the company that's contracting them guys. If they go over there and they put the quality control in place, they can produce decent stuff, but they have to keep on top of the Chinese to get them to do halfway. My company I work for Siemens, so we make stuff over in China as well. And we had issues with our initial stuff over there as far as medical devices. And, but, they sent a bunch of Germans over there and, got them squared away. And now they put out decent stuff. But it was some growing pains early on, unfortunately.
Yeah. And
well, that's when they're busy trying to reverse engineer everything that you sent them so that they can make umpteenth amount of clones and sell the crap out of that on Amazon.
Yeah, pretty much. And email you every other week. Would you like to review this? Would you like to review this? Even when you tell them no.
Yeah. I've had a flurry of them guys too, and I reviewed a couple of things, and basically I won't do any more of that stuff. I just
It's old stuff already. The other thing with Swarovski too, Palmetto, is if you look at a glass versus the glass of like Zeiss or someone else, they put a coating on their lenses that enhances yellows and greens, which is good in some areas of what you're doing, but in general, everyday usage, it makes it hard to see some various different things. Zeiss, for example, Zeiss actually just puts a regular style coating on there, which actually enhances and brightens natural light, and makes everything a lot clearer and finer and much more defined. So that's just another difference with them too that I never liked. I don't know why they put that on there. They say it's for hunting and stuff, but it really makes it hard to get that clarity you want. But you know me, I'd rather buy Zeiss all day anyway. Zeiss scopes and buying nose touch. But with that being said, we're actually right at time. So we will go through the room, and we'll start with Christian. How you doing? You want to do a little outro, brother?
An outro. All right. So thank you guys for allowing me to come on tonight. Sorry, I know Scotsman, you sent me a couple invites, over the last month, and it just couldn't make it happen. So happy to spend some time with y'all this evening, and Happy New Year, everybody. And I'll see y'all next time.
Awesome, man. Glad you could make it. Jamie.
Well, congratulations to Johnny. Nice win. Scotsman, thanks for having me. Alan, you're a pro as always, brother. Christian, nice to meet you, sir.
Very nice to meet you.
Been seeing you on for a while, and we're on Friday nights. You ever get a Friday night off, let me know. We'll have you over with us sometimes.
All right, we'll do.
Be glad to have you. I've got a 3030 video, load development video that I have recorded. I got to edit that and get that up. Then I'm going to be doing one on the 358 Legend. Y'all check us out Friday nights on my channel, 8 o'clock, Georgia Shooting Connection. Check out the Reloaders Network and Headspace, and we got something new coming up over there. So I got to check that out and see exactly what it is. Check out Eagle Eye Shooting, DesertPrecisionGunworks.com. Is that right, Kenny?
Yep, that's right.
He's got some good deals on some optics there, as he was saying earlier. So if you're looking for a good scope, give give Eagle a chance over at Desert Precision. And Happy New Year.
Awesome.
I have a question there, Scotsman. It's more actually directed. Jamie, can you do it tonight?
Maybe. I haven't practiced.
Yeah, I have the vote for Jamie too. Yeah, I say so.
My vote would be for Jamie. Just because that phenomenal Mr. Holster AK went to Johnny, I'm ecstatic it went to Johnny. Sorry, Scotsman.
It's all right, man. You know, I'd love to have it, but hey, it's okay.
Just because that went out does not mean the efforts are coming to a cease, and that there's more to come on that. The link is in that banner that's been going the entire show here, and also in the side chat, whichever direction the hell that is,
and in the description.
It's also in the description. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, just, I mean, keep showing the love as you can, people. If you can't, just keep getting the word out. That also plays a big factor, and it helps out a lot. And it's greatly appreciated by not only all of us, but all of them, and means the world to a lot of people. So, whatever people you can do to help out there, please do so. And just want to say a couple more is Happy New Year, and keep your magazines loaded and one in the chamber.
Yep, absolutely. And a big thank you to Jamie for helping out with the giveaway, man. I appreciate that very much. Making it fair and honest. Absolutely want to say Happy New Year to everyone as well. That is coming up, obviously. And a huge thank you to everyone who's donated so far. Like Alan said, we got some more good stuff coming up. Johnny from 182nd Ideas did actually have something he was going to be throwing in. So more details on that to come. But I appreciate everyone getting this so far so quickly. You know, like I said earlier in the chat, got a message from Mr. Holster, and things aren't looking too hot at the moment. So trust me, he definitely appreciates all the help, and I appreciate it. Everyone here appreciates it. And again, this community is just absolutely awesome. All stepping up to the plate, helping out, and blows me away every time. So appreciate y'all. With that being said, we are out of here, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Y'all have a good one.